From Northamptonshire Grammar School in Northampton, Anthony Beardsmore, Nicholas Barlow, James Pawley, Andrew Sunderland and Tom Imison. From the Crossley Heath School in Halifax, Nicola Butler, Matthew Wright, Lauren Brundell, Edward Morris and William Day. And from Lossiemouth High School in Murray, James Patterson, Martin James, Grant Simpson, Gareth Williams and Robbie Hall are all here to play 15-1 for Schools, presented by William G. Stewart.
Thank you. Hello. Well, yesterday's winners, Dollar Academy from Clackmannanshire, are equal fourth of what is, I suppose, the semi-finals board. And we now need a winning score above 285 to remove Patchway High from Bristol. All the 108 schools in this series have, of course, had to pass a tough audition, so they know what to expect today. We have 105 questions ready for them. Let's firstly see what they can make of these 30. And it's 2 questions each in the first round, and we begin with Northamptonshire. Anthony, sport. The first were held in 1924 at Chamonix in France. The next are scheduled to be at Salt Lake City in the USA in 2002. What are they?
The Olympics.
Which Olympics?
The Winter Olympics.
Indeed, the Winter Olympics. Nicholas, poetry. Ted Hughes' last major collection, Birthday Letters, is a reflection on his relationship with his first wife. Who was she?
I don't know.
Sylvia Plath. And James, please, television. The television presenters Mel and Sue are touring the United Kingdom throughout April and May with a comedy show called Back to Our Roots. Which midday Channel 4 programme have they presented?
Light Lunch.
Andrew, please, literature. Who is the famous 13-3/4-year-old creation of Sue Townsend?
Adrian Mole.
Tom, please. St Giles Cathedral, Parliament Square and John Knox's house are all on the Royal Mile. In which city?
London.
Edinburgh. Crossley Heath. Nicola, food and drink. Boursin, mozzarella and mascarpone. They are types of what?
Cheese.
Soft cheeses. Matthew, this is sport and swimming. In the Olympics, what is the shortest distance over which swimming races are held?
50 metres.
Lauren, the monarchy. Henry VIII, Edward VI, Mary I and Elizabeth I all ruled in England during which century?
17th.
16th century. Edward, on what piece of sporting equipment would you find a cantle, a pommel and a skirt?
No, I don't know.
No? A riding saddle. William, astronomy. The solar system. Which planet is named after the Roman god of war?
Mars.
And Lossiemouth and James on the same subject, James, still astronomy. Which planet is named after the Roman god of the sea?
Neptune.
Martin, please, the USA. What is the DC in Washington, D.C. short for?
Diplomatic Congress.
District of Columbia. Grant, David Ben-Gurion was the first Prime Minister of which state established in May 1948?
Bangladesh.
Israel. Gareth, zoology. The drill and the mandrill are types of which creature?
Bird.
Baboon, monkeys. Robbie, Hickstead, Badminton and Windsor Great Park are famous venues for which sport?
Horse racing.
No, not horse racing, no. It's equestrianism. And your second question's Northamptonshire. Anthony, at which famous London tourist attraction are the death masks of Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette and Robespierre on view?
No, sorry.
In the Chamber of Horrors at Madame Tussauds. Nicholas, geography. On which continent are the Kimberleys, the Darling Range and the Nullarbor Plain?
Australia.
James, please. In what activity are Anatoly Karpov and Garry Kasparov famous names?
Chess.
Andrew, please. In which American state are the cities of Nashville and Memphis famous for country and western music and the blues, respectively?
Nashville.
No, I gave you Nashville. The state is Tennessee. Tom, the coat of arms of which Commonwealth country features an emu? No? Australia. Crossley Heath and Nicola. In ancient Roman buildings, what was the purpose of a hypocaust?
Have no idea.
Heating. It was underfloor central heating. Matthew, William Brown and Violet Elizabeth Bott. They are the creations of which author?
Charles Dickens.
Richmal Crompton. Lauren, music and opera. What's the popular name of the famous 18th century opera house in Milan?
Don't know.
La Scala. Edward, the title, please, of J.R.R. Tolkien's three-part sequel to The Hobbit.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, Lord of the Rings. William, in which sport is Samantha Smith, the British women's #1?
It's high jumping.
Tennis. Lossiemouth and James. Media. James, what are Hat-Trick, Talkback and Planet 24?
TV production companies.
They are independent companies, yes. And Martin, in which field is the Suzuki method used in teaching young children?
Blind children.
No, music. Usually the violin. And Grant, please, the Bible. The authorised version of the Bible is named after which 17th century British monarch?
King James VI and first.
Yes, 6th and 1st. We normally say 1st and 6th. And Gareth, snooker. In snooker, which colour ball scores 6 points?
Pink.
Robbie, please. Musical instruments. Which musical instrument consists of 5 pipes, a blowpipe, a chanter and 3 drones?
French horn.
You're going to get shot when you get home. It's bagpipes. There you are, the end of round 1. And Philip, some scores, please.
And they are Northamptonshire Grammar School, 50 points, Crossley Heath School, 40 points, and Lossiemouth High School, 40 points.
The questions in round 2, you know, go in rotation. 10 points for a correct answer, 5 if it comes with conferring, and we start with Northamptonshire. Anthony. Famous couples, the pop singer Liam Gallagher. Who is his actress wife?
Patsy Kensit.
And Crossley Heath and Nicola. The metric system. What fraction of a metre is a millimetre?
1,000th.
Lossiemouth and James. This is sport and tennis. In April in Birmingham, Great Britain lost to the USA. In which tournament?
Davis Cup.
Northamptonshire and Nicholas. Directions on a musical score are usually written in which language?
Italian.
Crossley Heath and Matthew. The game of cricket. What is meant by the umpire raising both hands high above his head?
6.
Yes, 6 runs scored. Lossiemouth and Martin. The BBC. Who is the Director General of the BBC, Martin? Sir John Burt. And Northamptonshire and James. Business presentations. What term is used for a diagram that shows the arrangement of the steps of a process or program?
Flowchart.
It is indeed. Crossley Heath and Lauren. Science. Which part of an electric light bulb transmits light by becoming white hot?
The filament.
The filament. Lossiemouth and Grant. This is science. What term, taken from the name of a French scientist, applies to the treatment of milk by heat to destroy disease-causing bacteria?
Pasteurization.
Northamptonshire and Andrew. The American West, Andrew. The 1880s, from a wanted dead or alive poster. Age 18, light hair, blue eyes and even features. He is the leader of the worst band of desperados the territory has ever had to deal with. Who was he?
Jesse Jones.
Billy the Kid. And Crossley Heath and Edward, the royal family. Which 2 royal dukes are first cousins of the Queen? Tell me. Gloucester and Kent, the Duke of Gloucester and Duke of Kent. Lossiemouth and Gareth, motor vehicle registrations. Which letter is the international registration letter for Spain?
E.
E for España. Northamptonshire and Tom. Tom, in which sport would a night watchman play a role?
Cricket.
Yes, cricket again. And Crossley Heath and William. Guadeloupe, Martinique and Mayotte are part of which European country?
Spain.
France. Lossiemouth and Robbie. In some Jewish communities, there is a ceremony for girls which is equivalent to the bar mitzvah ceremony for boys. What is the girls' ceremony called?
Bat mitzvah.
Yes, bat mitzvah, yes, okay. And back to you, Northampton and Anthony again. Gerontology is the scientific study of what?
Old age.
Yes, it is. Aging and the aging process. And Crossley Heath and Nicola. Birds. What name is generally given to the birds of the genus Cygnus?
Swans.
Swans. Lossiemouth and James. The Commonwealth. Which is the only Commonwealth country with an Arctic coastline?
Canada.
And Northamptonshire and Nicholas. The British Isles. Which island is connected to the mainland by the Britannia Bridge, which was designed and built by Robert Stevenson?
Isle of Skye.
Anglesey. And Crossley, Heath and Matthew. The USA. Off the southern tip of which state is there a group of islands which includes Key Largo, Long Key, Big Pine Key, Sugarloaf Key and Key West?
Florida.
Yes, the Florida Keys. Lossiemouth and Martin. What in French households is la salle à manger?
The kitchen.
Dining room. And Northamptonshire and James. Food and drink. The name, please, of the Spanish soup served cold and made from tomatoes, peppers, cucumber, garlic, onions and croutons.
Is it gazpacho?
It is, James. Crossley, Heath and Lauren. Physics, science. Which technical instrument has parts called a foot, a mirror, a slide and a stage?
Telescope.
Microscope. And Lossiemouth and Grant. History. Peter's pence was an ecclesiastical tax paid in England from the 8th century to the 16th century. To whom was it paid?
To the church.
Well, yes, and then the Pope. England was then a Roman Catholic country. Now, before we go on, a quick check on the scores. Northamptonshire 100, Crossley Heath 85 and Lossiemouth 90. So there's everything to play for, as they say. And we go back to Northamptonshire and Andrew. Medicine. What term is commonly used to refer to a drug used for therapeutic purposes that destroys or inhibits the growth of microorganisms such as bacteria?
Antibiotic.
Antibiotic, Andrew. Crossley Heath and Edward. Music and museums. In which city in Austria is the Mozart Birthplace Museum?
Salzburg.
And Lossiemouth and Gareth. Latitude and longitude. The capital cities of 3 European Union countries lie to the west of the Greenwich Meridian, which runs through London. One of those 3 cities, please.
Madrid.
Yes, Madrid, Dublin and Lisbon. And Northamptonshire and Tom, the House of Commons. Which party leader is the Member of Parliament for the Yorkshire constituency of Richmond?
Paddy Ashdown.
William Hague. Crossley Heath and William. What's the popular name for a Greek bar or restaurant?
Tavern. Taverna.
Ooh. Listen carefully to when they give you correct answers, William. Do listen to them. Yes, okay, taverna. And Lossiemouth and Robbie. Anatomy. The patella is the anatomical name for what?
Kneecap.
Yes, the kneecap. You're cutting it fine, but it was the kneecap. Okay, Northamptonshire and Anthony again. Which children's television character has a black and white cat called Jess, who travels around with him in his red van?
Postman Pat.
A jolly night it is too. And Crossley Heath and Nicola. Commerce. The name, please, of Germany's central bank.
Bundesbank.
Yes. And Lossiemouth and James. The sea. Different sizes of what are called growlers and bergy bits?
Boys.
Icebergs. Northamptonshire and Nicholas. Shakespeare. Nicholas. Which Shakespeare play begins with the stage direction, "On a ship at sea, a tempestuous noise of thunder and lightning heard"?
The Tempest.
It is The Tempest.